Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, I recently saw some people I haven't seen in, some 40, some 50 years, and it was very nice actually to see them. And we chatted about some things. And it's nice to catch up. And you're going to find out today when we talk about, today's reading that the group of people around us is actually much bigger than we think. But I also hope that some of you took or take my advice. Do not simply succumb to dogma. How is not one of the 5 W's. I want you to understand the whys. Because once you do, you will develop an appreciation for the spiritual parts of your life and incorporate those things you want into your own spiritual practice. And everybody's spiritual practice is different and should be different. Now this week we begin a new month, the 11th month of the year. Well, the year's almost over, the month of Av. Now summer's whipping along. You can see there's less light every day. And we're entering the month that has the highest high and the lowest low of the Hebrew calendar. And we're going to talk more about them next week. But speaking of the low, every week we go lower. Hezbollah attacked and killed children last week, 12 of them, playing soccer. Do not delude yourself into thinking this was an accident. There's no accident here. Where is the world's condemnation? Even if it existed, condemnation backed by nothing, still nothing. Israel now is being bombarded from the south and the north. I've been to the Golan Heights. I've actually been in the north. I've been in the West Bank. I've been in Gaza area. And it could be so different from what it is. And all 3 of those areas are different. Not since 1967 has the Mid-East been this close to the brink. We must pull back from falling into the abyss before it's too late. Don't you understand? Trying to stand. Can't you feel the fear that I'm feeling today? If the button's pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to say with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy, but you tell me over and over and over again, my friend. Don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. The whole world, and us along with it, since we are one, is truly on the eve of destruction. Now, current potential large-scale Mideast war, and perhaps global, is on the horizon. We read about wars in this week's reading. Here we are, almost 4,000 years later, still killing each other. Now, I'm simple. I don't pretend to understand the subtle nuances of our geopolitical world, but I certainly do not get the handing over of billions and billions of dollars to a group who have turned cries of death to America, death to Israel, into a religious dervish-like chant so that they could not only detonate but deliver nuclear weapons anywhere and everywhere. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a president, prime minister, or king stepping up to stop the insanity that could truly destroy the world as we know it. And that's not just our physical world, which we are destroying by the day, but our world of peace, growth, freedom, that once gone, I fear will never return. We're not on Olympus, watching the gods play chess with their favorites in Greece or in Troy. We're watching in real time the slaughter of innocents out of blind, insane hatred. And this insanity has fostered an extremely dangerous normalization of anti-Semitism in North America now. And this palpable anti-Semitism is sickening. These are children. Last time it was concert goers, babies, the elderly. Children playing soccer. What's next? This needs total condemnation and action. And Israel must decide what Israel must do. It's not up to Jew haters around the world, from its enemies and its supposed friends, to decide what they need to do to protect their own sovereignty. We would look down on any nation doing it to us. So why is it okay for us to do it to others? Now, this book we are reading is the story of freedom. And the greatest freedom is the individual freedom of thought that each of you has, that each of you can pursue. Many feel that freedom is being threatened. And in one of his brilliant studies, Freud wrote an amazing study of the mind, the group mind, the individual mind. And one of those great books was Group Psychology and the Analysis of the Ego, in which he studied the group mentality. What happens to us? Well, friends, the collective mind creates a sense of invincible power, kind of like the genie in Aladdin. And it provides anonymity and irresponsibility. And accordingly, it takes intelligence away from intelligent people, and as part of the group, they're in a waking state of hypnosis. Freud's great warning was that in the group or the mob, we lose our individual sense of right and wrong. We follow the group think. 2 of the 10 plagues this wilderness generation lived through dealt with and provided warnings against swarms. And swarms of people are mobs. And the mob mentality is a dangerous mentality. We have seen the damage it wields and has throughout history. And now I fear social media has become the new mob. And it would seem that what now is called the mainstream media, which was just normal TV and newspapers in my day, I guess, has become no better than Pravda, government-controlled censorship. Not too many politicians tell the truth, and nobody says anything. It's accepted. So if you don't open your eyes, you may never see the truth again. We are living in a world where truth changes daily. Maybe we got to go back to a world that tells the truth for a change. Sit there, so cool, while the whole show's passing you by. Better come to terms with your fellow man, because the whole world is shaking now. Can you feel it? A new dawn is breaking now. Can you see it? Tell the truth. Tell me, who's been fooling you? Tell the truth. Now who's been fooling who? Now the mob does not encourage freedom of thought, but we all still seek it. And so when we come together, it's not as a mob, because we are each on our own individual journeys throughout life. We're each going to our own promised land. And although we're all different, there's still the one thing that makes us the same, and that's our need and desire to come together as a group, to honor and pray individually, because there is safety in numbers. There's a sense of camaraderie. There is that collective consciousness that we get when we put our differences aside, forming like-minded groups of seekers showing faith. Any and all faith. Love, any and all love. A true chavura, which is simply a Hebrew word for fellowship, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, because it unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. Unity. Unity. Together. You know, we support each other in this community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something, even the people who say they don't believe. It's part of your Kavanaugh. It's your intention that you put out to the universe. And we're constantly putting out intention. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. Your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal is for everyone. And it just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal. Goodwill for everyone. You don't have to be sick. It is for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out. People in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those in need of assistance in any way. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them to want good for them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. More than ever, let's send healing energy for the hostages still being held by those animal terrorists. We're coming up on a year. Whoever would have thought it would have been? These monsters are strangely supported all over the world. And let's also pray for those who are closer to us. For Anne and Amin, for AJ and Bal, for John and Lee, for the builder, Gary, for Paul, Maria, Pam, Roger, lovely Lucy, Gloria, Anura, for Fern and Johnny, for Ken and Kathy, for Carla, for Mina and Jessica, for the great Gabby, Charles, John and Maria, for Doria, Connie and Ronnie, for Maya and Tally, for the great Snoopy, who it's always a pleasure to see, and I'll be seeing him again pretty soon. For Danny, for Nina, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include all the familiars of our lives. All of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know. For the whole world, and for Devora. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, and goodwill we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. Makor Limotenu, a source of strength. Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach. Let all of us have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing. You'll hear it in every synagogue all over the world. We call upon God to heal as He is healed before. Mishaberach, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. We all need renewal. We need to be careful. We're losing every day. Now, it's mostly been rights and truth, but the unseen loss has been to the spirit of everyone. And then freedom will be next. It will be gone and you won't even notice. We're not just living in the world of 1984 where Big Brother sees all and controls all, but Animal Farm too, with its rewriting of history. I remember when photocopying kept getting referred to as Xeroxing. Where's Xerox now? And that new electronic highway, which was to provide all information to us at the drop of a hat, morphed into simply asking Google, getting an answer. But Google does more to control your access to information than anyone. Real researching isn't Googling. It rewrote the founding of America, and now it's controlling what political information is available. These aren't the droids you're looking for. We have spent lifetimes fighting for freedom. And now we are joining this wilderness generation, the first true freedom seekers. And we have reached the last reading of the book. And because of the calendar and the leap year system, it's a double reading. And it's the summary of two crucial parts of our own lives: mattot and masei, tribes and journeys. Our lives are journeys that never cease. And it is the tribes that define our identities. So in many ways, this ending to the book is actually titled quite appropriately. We're all still tribal, no matter how global we often pretend to be. And these tribes set us up for so much. And Freud did a brilliant study on the tribal mentality in his book on taboo. And if you've never read it, it's still a fantastic, valid examination of man. We're all still on a journey, almost a never-ending journey, to a land we only get glimpses of. The only other never-ending tour was probably Dylan's never-ending tour, or maybe the Eagles, who did a When Hell Freezes Over tour, and so I guess hell is frozen over since they're on tour again. Now, technically, it's really about neither, and it's about both. Our tribes can be as large as we want or as small. Think of the biological classification's 8 major taxonomic ranks, stemming from life at the top, which gives us domain, then kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species at the bottom. Each is a tribe. And the tribes are bigger or smaller depending on how you choose to look at it at any given time. And it will change, and it changes your whole life. Your tribe changes. Your tribe was your parents and siblings, grandparents, relatives. And as you grew and developed, your tribal definition changed. It didn't really change. Your perception changed. Your view of your tribe changed. It included school. It included friends. Look at the world today. The tribe of the globalist is different than the tribe of the nationalist, but we're actually the same. We spend our lives on a journey because without motion, there is stagnation. We are constantly moving, seeking, going, journeying energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. But sometimes we just don't know where we're going. The people are poised on the River Jordan, ready to enter the Promised Land. But first we need to wrap up a few things, and this little reading actually has a lot. The first is issues that deal with vows, made by man and made by woman, and the karmic duty to carry them out. We're reminded our words have weight and meaning. We have forgotten that. We treat them too often as weightless that float along and can disappear with the breeze. Friends, your word is your bond. What you say has weight, has meaning, has direction. Numbers 33. A man who will make a vow to the Lord, or is sworn on an oath to make a restriction on himself, shall not desecrate his word. He shall do it according to everything that comes out of his mouth. We take what we say too lightly. Words create a palpability. You are to do what you say. That was how things used to be, and should still be. We've come to accept that our political leaders simply lie. Now they say whatever they think we want to hear, and they're not called to task. Most people will lie, and they're not called to task. Their words don't have the same meaning. Now, this reading also talks about very unusual and unexpected Midian war, and Moses' instructions for the mass killing of almost everyone. And then the division of slaves and booty. Now this part is so different from how we think. And it must have been edited in somehow. The senseless, bloodthirsty killing is not who we are. Never was, never will be. Booty and slaves to a nation freed from the shackles of slavery? Just practically yesterday? Makes no sense. But you see, slavery is not physical chains. It is the mental chains, the constraints, the fears we project as blockades to our joy. We also see instructions about the famous sanctuary cities. Not the kind like they have in the US these days, but what they were really for. Safe zones to ensure fair trials and prevent vengeance killing. And we see the change almost as an afterthought of the rights of inheritance. And while its intent might have been right, for many it represented taking a giant step backwards. And the book ends with the people poised to move into the promised land, which will not occur until the book of Joshua. It is not a part of the 5 books of Moses. It is not part of what we are reading. Now, this whole second half of the reading about the travels of the people is actually almost like a quick little Reader's Digest geography lesson for the journey from Egypt, because it basically lists all the places they've been. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, bare, man. Mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. But surprisingly, there are very important episodes. The place names do not appear in this itinerary. Surprisingly. The central stop at Mount Sinai, where the Great Epiphany took place, is not actually mentioned. Instead, only a stay in the wilderness is mentioned. That little stay changed the course of history, my friends. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free. Be free. Honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace, freedom for everybody. An end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate with each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. We all need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It is our intention, our Kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. You always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being. Keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love, because it's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of your real power, it lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart, as we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone. Someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean just to you, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced. I hate to tell you, but others have too. Because we share together. We learn together. We help each other. Because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. You're never alone on your journey. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he talks to you. Remember, your connection to God and all he has created, body and soul, as a part of you, of me, of all of us forever. Remember, my friends, it's rarely the destination that's the best part of any trip. It is always the journey. Enjoy yours and expand your tribe, because we are all part of each other's. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Smile. Until then, cares about the clouds are free together. Sing a song, bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Happy trails, my friends. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.